Hello everyone, welcome to the another lecture of environmental studies. Our course code is 22447. This course is common to production engineering, mechanical engineering, civil engineering and electrical engineering program group. In this lecture, we are going to see our unit 4, that is environmental pollution, different techniques to reduce environmental pollution. Our subtopic is e-waste. That's the topic we are going to see in this lecture. To satisfy our topic, we are going to see our course outcome D, applied techniques to environmental pollution. What will we learn today? Our first agenda point is e-waste. Second one is generation of e-waste, composition of e-waste, impacts of e-waste and management of e-waste. So to see agenda points of today's lecture, we have to see the following contents: municipal solid waste, biomedical solid waste, and e-waste, their sources, generation, characteristics, effects, and methods to manage. Before going to start today's lecture, we have summarized our Unit 4, Environmental Pollution. In previous lecture, we said that definition of pollution, their types, that are natural and artificial. In that we saw soil or land pollution, their causes, effects on environment, effects on lives, and what are the different preventive measure techniques. Next we see water pollution, the sources of the water pollution, effects on environment and lives, how to prevent water pollutions, BIS water quality standards, flow diagram water treatment plant, and water conservation techniques. Next we see wastewater, generation of wastewater through the domestic and industrial, their impacts on the environment, flow diagram of sewage treatment plants, CPCB norms for sewage discharge. Next we see air pollution, causes of the air pollution, their effects on the environment, on the human, on the animal, on the plants, how to prevent air pollution, ambient air quality standard we saw in the air pollution lecture. Next we see noise pollution, their sources, their effects, their prevention techniques, and noise level at various zones of the city. And this is our last topic, municipal solid waste. Let's see in previous lecture, biomedical waste and e-waste. So in that we are going to see their sources, what are the different kinds of sources of the e-waste, how the e-waste is generated, what are the different physical chemical characteristics of the e-waste, and what is the effect of the e-waste on the environment, on the human beings and the ecosystems. So let's start our today's lecture. So let's see the learning objective or key learnings. State the characteristics of e-waste. So here we are going to see the different characteristics of the e-waste, means what are the different physical characteristics of the e-waste, what are the chemical characteristics of the e-waste. Next one is impact of the e-waste. Impact in the sense means what? How the e-waste is impacting our environment, our ecosystem, how the bad effects are there because of the e-waste. We are going to see in this lecture. And the next one is describe incineration, RDF, and sanitary landfill. So those are the techniques to dispose e-waste. So let's start with e-waste. So here is the concept of solid waste. In previous lecture, we saw that kind of concept map. In that we see municipal solid waste, biomedical waste, and e-waste. So today's our topic is e-waste. Those two topics are covered in previous lecture. You can see the YouTube link of previous lecture. So let's start with our topic e-waste. So what exactly meaning of the e-waste? The waste from electronic and electrical appliances which have reached their end of life period are called as e-waste or electronic waste. For example, fridge, washing machines, TV, scanners, printers, computers, cables, mobile phones, etc. The another definition of the e-waste is electronic waste or e-waste are defined as waste material like discarded computers, office electronic equipments, entertainment electronic devices, mobile phones, television sets, and refrigerators contribute as e-waste. So, what are the different sources of the e-pollution or the e-waste? Here we can see the households. In households, we can see the refrigerators, the mixers, inductions. So these are few examples of the e-waste from the households. From the shops, we can see the calculators, printers, computers. Those are some kind of the examples of the e-waste from the shops. Industrial, similarly, you can see the computers, mobile phones, different kinds of the machines. Those termed as industrial e-waste. In electrical electronics repairing center, we can see mobile phones, televisions. Those are nothing but the source of electrical electronics e-waste. Next one, the institutions. In institute, we can see different types of computers are used. Their requirement of the printer, Xerox machines. After the end of their life, they referred as the e-waste from the institutes. In the laboratories, similarly, the computers are used, the printers are used, different types of the machines, testing machines are used. So they are referred as the, after end of their life, they are referred as the e-waste from the laboratories. Next one is IT centers. Similarly, in IT centers, lots of computers are used. After end of their life, they are referred as the e-waste. And computer institute, similarly as IT institutes. Similarly, the measure of e-waste source is display units, that is CRT monitor, LCD monitor, LED monitors, processors like CPU, RAM, and audio components turned into e-waste after their effective life. E-waste is generated at high rate around the globe because of rapid changes in technology, changes in media, and falling prices. So what exactly that means, the rapid changes in the technology? So we can see from 5 to 6 years ago, or we can consider as 10 years ago, we using the LCD monitors or CRT monitors. As the technology changes, in current era, we using LED monitors. So CRT monitors and LCD monitor referred as e-waste. They are still working, okay, but because of rapid change in the technology, we throw them into the waste, and this is nothing but the process of the e-waste. Another one is changes in media. For example, in previous era, we can see for the audio system we using the tapes. Nowadays, later era, we see the CDs, DVDs, and this era we use the pen drives for the data transfers. So because of that, there is a e-waste creations. And another one is falling prices. Because of low prices or falling prices, customers get attracted to the new products like mobile phones. So that there is a creation of the e-waste, and because of that, e-pollution is happens. So why the e-waste is so important? So let's see. There are some contaminants in the e-waste which causes the harmful effects to the ecosystem and the environment. So what are they? We are going to say here. The first one is lead. Lead is found in the solder, CRT monitor glass, lead acid batteries, and some formulation of PVC. Another one is tin. Tin is found in solder coating on computer component leads. Copper. Copper is found on copper wire, printed circuit board, tracks, component leads. Aluminium. Aluminium is found on nearly all electronic goods using more than a few watts of power. Similarly, aluminium is used for the heat sink, electronic capacitors, iron. Iron is found in the steel chassis, cases and fixings. Germanium. 1950s to 1960s, transistors are electronics use germanium, silicon, nickel, lithium, zinc, gold. So those are the few important waste and their sources. So the e-waste generation. Electronic waste are generated from the any modern establishment that discarded electrical or electronic devices. Some electronic scrap components like CRT monitors, they are containing lead, cadmium, or brominated flame retardants. So because of that, the ecosystem gets harmed. Everyone knows the lead is poisonous. So those are we see the sources of the e-waste and what are the different important parameters in the sources causing environmental pollution. So here we can see generation of e-waste. According to the United Nations Global Monitor, India ranked fifth in the world in generating e-waste. India generating 1.81 million tons of e-waste. The rate of e-waste generation increased 10% every year. And why this happen? Because of rapid changes in the technology, changes in the media, falling prices. Those are the reason behind that generation of the e-waste. So here we can see the compositions of the e-waste. So let's start. Large household appliances having the 42% in the e-waste compositions. So what are the different household appliances? The first one is refrigerators, mixers, grinders, ovens. Another one example we can see. So those are the examples of the large household appliances. What are they? Ovens, mixers, grinders, refrigerators, inductions. So these are the causes highest composition in the e-waste, that is 42%. The next one is IT communications technology. In IT communications technology, what are the e-waste? The first one is computers. Second one is their monitors, processors, their keyboards, their mouse, printers, Xerox machines. Another one is example of the IT technology in that we can see different their application devices. So these are comes in the IT communication technology. It having 34% compositions of the e-waste. Another one is consumer electronics, that is 40%. In consumer electronics, we can see shaving machines, mobile phones, gadgets, gadgets like the wristwatch. So they are the consumer electronics having percentage is 14% and other is 10%. So here we can see the composition of the e-waste. So here we can see the impacts of the e-waste. Before going to that, so here we can see effect of the e-waste. First one is on public health, DNA damage. Second one is lung cancer, damage to heart, lungs or spleen. Chronic damage to brain, asthmatic, bronchitis, vision failure, ulcer, breathing difficulties, birth defects, hormonal changes, damage immune system, etc. So those are the effects of e-waste on the human health. Why this is happened? Because of the e-waste containing harmful materials like lead, bromide, etc. And what are the effects of the e-waste on the environment? The effects of the e-waste on the environment is groundwater pollution, acidification of soil and soil pollution and air pollution. So those are the effects of the e-waste on the environment as well as on the public health. So here are the some methods of the e-waste management. The first one is collection of the e-waste. So how to collect the e-waste? We can collect in the different sources like from the institutions, from the IT industries, from the household applications. So from there we can collect the e-waste. After collection of the e-waste, we can sort of e-waste. Sorting of the e-waste means what? We can separate as a Xerox machine, as a CRT monitor, as a LCD monitor, as a LED monitor, keyboards, mouse, inductions, microwave ovens. We can sort according to them. So this is nothing but the sorting of the e-waste. Next process is processing of the e-waste. So after the sorting, we can send them to the repairing center. Next step is repairing of the e-waste. If possible, we can repair the e-waste. After that, we can recycling of the e-waste. Next stage is dismantling of the e-waste. Dismantling means what? Suppose there is not possible of the repairing or recycling, then we can dismantling. Dismantling means what? All the parts of the from the e-waste get separated. We can see which part is usable. We can use as a recycling. Which part is repairable. We can again use that part, and the remaining part is going to debris. Next process is components recovery of e-waste. The components are recovered from the dismantling process. We can use again. And next one is residual disposal of e-waste. The remaining part is directly disposed. So this is a method of the e-waste management. So here one important parameter is what are the characteristics of the e-waste? Why it is hazardous? What is the reason behind it? Here we can see it is composed of hazardous materials. The e-waste like CRT monitors we see, CRT monitor containing leads bromide, so they are made up of the hazardous material. Products are quickly discarded. Electronics material are very difficult to recycle. Discarded electronics are managed badly. Most e-waste goes on landfills. Most recyclers don't recycle, they export. Hazardous as burning of e-waste causing pollution. E-waste in green environment is nothing but the destruction of land, waste, destruction of land. E-waste near water is causes groundwater contamination. So what are the toxic components in the e-waste we are going to see? So let's see, first one is suppose we take the e-waste as a printed circuit board. In that we can see lead and cadmium are the constituents which are the tops. In cathode ray tubes that the CRT monitors we can see lead oxide and cadmium is there which are the toxic material. Switch and flat screen monitors. Switches and flat screen monitor. In that we can see the mercury is there. Mercury is again toxic. In computer batteries, cadmium is there. The cadmium is again toxic material. In capacitors and transformers, polychlorinated biphenyls used, that is PCB, which is again toxic material. In PCB boards or plastic, bromide films, retardant casting cable is used. This is nothing but the toxic material. And again, in cable insulations or coating, PVC, that is polyvinyl chloride is used, and this is nothing but the toxic material. So what are the effects of that toxic material on the environment? Here we can see because of the cadmium, when not properly recycled, it can leach into the soil, harming microorganisms and distorting the soil ecosystem. So this is the effect of cadmium. Another effect like mercury, health effects include sensory impairment, dermatitis, memory loss, and muscle weakness. Those are causes due to the mercury. So those are the effects of because of the e-pollution. So important parameter is how to control e-pollution. What are the different techniques to control the e-pollution? To handle this growing means the technical solution to available, but in the most of cases face delayed implementation because of first one is the legal framework, second one is a collection system, third one logistic and other services, which are essentially required before the technical solution can be applied. So what meaning of the legal framework? The basic causes we saw in the lectures. What is the reason behind that the pollution happens? The first, in the first we saw that rapid changes in the technology. Suppose there is a rapid change in the technology in the IT sectors. There is a huge possibility of that there is a e-waste generation. So there is a requirement of a legal framework before adopting the new technology. Another one is a collection system. That is the methods of e-waste management. In the collection system, we have to collect only those parts they are out of repairing or recycling. If possible, we can repair and recycling at the origin steps. And another one, logistic and other services. Many of the people are directly throw the e-waste into the disposals before they are repairing and recycling because of changing in the technology, price falling. So those are the some reasons. So we have to improve the logistic and other services to e-waste management. So this is how we can survive our ecosystem, we can survive ecosystem and the environment. In the lecture, in the whole unit, we can see the water pollution, air pollution, noise pollution, land pollution, e-waste, so and their preventive techniques. Why these are important, their effects on the human health. So here we can see the revision what we have learned today. The first one is e-waste and its sources, generation of e-waste, composition of e-waste and methods of e-waste management. So here we can stop. In next lecture, we can see our last unit, unit number 5, social issues and environmental education. So here we can stop. We will meet again in next lecture. Thanks for watching this lecture.